trust that your stories around the table have been helpful and enlightening, funny, etc., as you've thought about the experiences you've had over this year as well as the course of your career. A couple of program notes. First of all, we have been in the process of changing the Newcomer of the Year Award to Freshman of the Year Award, and it hasn't gotten changed in all places. So when Ben Spots talks about the Freshman of the Year, in here it says Newcomer, so we're getting that one straightened out. The second one is that we've had some difficulty with Presto in terms of the live streaming. So if someone is live streaming, what you need to do is go to the Eastern Mennonite University Athletics Facebook page. It's being streamed there, not on the link that we sent to you. So if you sent that link to your parents or your grandparents or your uncles and aunts, whoever, if you want to stream the live stream, it is on Eastern Mennonite University Athletics Facebook page. You can do that as well. Besides simply gathering together over food and fellowship and recognizing stories and talking about things we have learned, there are some recognitions and awards that we give out each year. We will work through the program as is listed there, beginning with the Academic Achievement Awards. Then the coaches select 4 students to share their reflections. Vice President Jim Smucker will be introducing that section of it. Then we will have what we should be the Freshman of the Year Awards. That is for all freshmen are eligible, and it's based upon their year that they had this year. Athlete of the Year the same way, some more senior reflections. Then we will recognize all seniors, and just program note on that one as well. When James gets to that particular part, we will be asking you when you're introduced to please go over here to the side where you'll receive your certificate and your alumni jacket, and then come up onto the stage and stand here for the photos. And then the President's Award after that and some closing comments. So sit back and enjoy this. It is always a special highlight for us. And one final note I would make is what a great experience I had, an opportunity I had this past Saturday. I had to think about a lot of you because we had about 40-some baseball players come back for an alumni event, and they were just thrilled that we were treating them that way, that they all got to wear a jersey. Actually, we had enough leftover jersey. Everybody got a jersey. Some of them actually found their own jersey that they had worn. But to listen to them, to see the former coaches and players come back, and to hear their stories, I could just sit there and imagine meeting some of you in about 5, 10, 15 years back here in the same way. And what a thrill for an athletics director to know that I get this chance with the coaches to understand all that's going on now and the experiences you're having, and then to talk to alumni 5, 10, 15, 20 years out, and their stories are very similar, and their experiences, and they're taking what they had and apply it to life now. It's just a joy. And so this is the start of that as you move out of your playing. Not playing done quite yet. Softball team, ODAX tomorrow. Baseball team's got some on Saturday. We've got potential All-American winner here in a 400-meter hurdle. So there's still some activities to go, but we're going to stop and celebrate this evening all of those achievements that we've had this year. So I'm going to invite Deirdre Smeltzer and Matthew Siderhurst to come and begin our evening by giving the Academic Achievement Awards.
Good evening. I'm really pleased to present the 2018 Academic Achievement Awards. EMU supports and encourages the student-athlete model, which is the foundation of the Division III philosophy of athletics. We hold high standards of excellence both on the playing field and in the classroom. Playing sports requires an enormous amount of time, both in and out of season, and it is often difficult to stay on top of schoolwork. We understand the challenge and thank the coaches for their support and encouragement of the academic success of their athletes. And we thank the athletes for their hard work in both areas of college life. Tonight, I have the privilege of recognizing the academic success of our athletes. Each year, EMU honors the junior or senior member of each team who has achieved the highest cumulative grade point average above 3.0 through the fall semester of 2017. So as I call your name, please come forward to receive your award, and then remain up here on the steps until all students have received their Academic Achievement Award. So for baseball, Ryan Brewer. For men's basketball, Christian Hansen. For women's basketball, Lindsay Krisak. For women's cross country, there are two awardees, Kat Lehman, who is on cross-cultural, so she will be recognized in absentia, and Michaela Mast. For field hockey, Emily Augsburger. For golf, Austin Sachs. No, Austin? Okay. For men's soccer, David Nestor. For women's soccer, Sylvia Mast, who is also absent on cross-cultural. For softball, Casey Coleman. For men's track and field, Austin Hart. For women's track and field, Michaela Mast. For men's volleyball, Colton Fry. And for women's volleyball, Maria Yoder. Thank you and congratulations to each of you students for the dedication and hard work that is demonstrated by this honor. You're a fine representation of the best that EMU has to offer. Please join me in congratulating all of these fine student athletes.
Well, I would be remiss if I didn't start by giving a shout out to the men's baseball team for their walk-off win last night over Bridgewater. On Saturday, after their walk-off win, I texted Ben and I said, there's nothing better than a walk-off home run to win a game. Last night I texted him and I said, I was wrong. There is something better, a walk-off home run against Bridgewater. However, even better than that, Coach, would be a doubleheader sweep on Saturday and making the playoffs. Just saying. Well, I want to start by thanking all of you for the hours and hours of enjoyment you've given me personally by getting to watch you play. I have all of the schedules in my date book, and I get to as many games as possible, and it's been a lot of fun for me. I'm a strong believer in the Division III sports model of athletics. I view athletics as both an important part of our offerings here at EMU and a real source of leadership development for student athletes. Sports in so many ways provide rich metaphors that translate into life and leadership lessons. I look back fondly on my years playing college baseball and continue to draw significant strength from my miles on the trails in the mountains that surround us here in the valley. Competition continues to inspire me. One of the great metaphors for life that we learn from sports is reflection in action. We perform in practice or games, then our coaches lead us in a reflection on the lessons learned from our actions. We make adjustments, then we perform again, and then additional reflection, all in an endless cycle of learning. The reality is that when I look back on my athletic career, I learned many more lessons from mistakes and failures than I did from successes. I tell my children often that the winners in life are the learners, those that develop this ability to reflect and make adjustments. Athletics provides this metaphor and rhythm for lifelong learning. May we all be blessed with many failures to reflect upon. Each year, the coaching staff selects 4 seniors to share their learnings and reflections on their experiences in athletics during their time at EMU. I really would love to hear from each senior, and I mean that sincerely, because the stories are incredibly motivating and fun to listen to. But unfortunately, time doesn't allow that this evening. So the 4 seniors who will be sharing with us this evening are the following, and they'll share in this order. Brittany Williams, who's from King George, Virginia. She's a major in recreational leadership and sports studies, and her sports teams was cross country and track and field. Colton Fry from Columbia, Pennsylvania. He's majored in liberal arts and teaching education, and he participated in men's volleyball. Then Jasmine Johnson from Stanton, Virginia, majored in psychology and participated in women's volleyball. And finally, Malik Jones from Charlestown, West Virginia, who majored in psychology and played men's basketball.
Coming in as a freshman, I had tremendous goals set for myself. I wanted to be the fastest 400-meter women's runner in the history of EMU. Little did I know that that goal would change as the years went on. But also, those years impacted my life. Here at EMU, as a student athlete, I have had the opportunity to embark on precious memories, endure frustrating challenges, and to make connections I envision lasting a lifetime. Over the years, my goals and also role as a student athlete has shifted. I went through 5 head coaches, a nagging injury, and 12 different seasons between cross-country, indoor, and outdoor track and field. I kept myself busy, sometimes a little too busy. But in this involvement and many other things, I grew as a leader. I learned that no matter how hard I want it to be, I would never be perfect. My teammates over the years, and especially this year in particular, have taught me to let loose and enjoy the moments because they will eventually only be memories. Through coaching changes, teammates coming and going, and not being certain if there would be a track team, this year has truly been a blessing in disguise. I was able to take part in cross-country and track and field head coach search committee, be called the team mom, and I even got my own cubicle in the athletic suite with my associate coach, Connor Faint. But in all reality, I appreciate everyone that has had an impact on my experience here. I went from being pushed by my coaches to stepping up in some ways and kind of being a coach, more of a mentoring type of way. Although my goal from freshman year to be the best 400-meter woman in the EMU history, what didn't come true or wasn't fully lived out, I've been able to support my teammates in their goals that they make as they come in. That in itself is enough and something I will carry with me always. Last weekend at UDAX, it wasn't about me going and winning because it's my senior year. Instead, it was about me having fun and enjoying the opportunity that soon was coming to an end. My very last race wasn't just about me. The women's 400-meter run or relay was about me running for the girls I was participating with and that had gone through the season with me. After watching all three of the girls run and pass the baton around the track, and me end the fourth leg, we came into the UDAC race ranked 5th place and came out in 3rd and got to stand on the podium and be medaled and to be honored in that. And I couldn't have asked for a better way to end the season. Thank you.
My speech takes a little bit of a different tone, so bear with me. I think we can all say that we wanted to grow up one day. We all had this aspiration as a 14-year-old with smelly feet and an awkward haircut of being a man or a woman, becoming an adult. To all of you seniors, congrats. You did it. In exactly 10 days, you will become a recent college graduate of Eastern Mennonite University. And not only did you make it through approximately 4 years of post-secondary education, but you did it while playing a sport. You have earned your alumni jacket. Thank the Lord. You dedicated your mind, body, and soul to something bigger than yourself. You spent countless hours on the practice field, in the bus, chatting with new trainers, and preparing your mind for competition. You helped to build a program whether you thought you were doing it or not. You and each and every one of you changed the lives of many people through your abilities as an athlete and your character as a person. Some of these people are the brothers and sisters that you played all 4 years of your sport with, and some you will never meet. But the blood, sweat, and tears that you poured into the programs here will continue to shape those who follow after us. In education, there is something we call reflective practice. Jim mentioned this earlier. It is the act of looking at what is happening or happened and adjusting your future due to what you learned. And sports are no different. Every single repetition taken, every single movement made, and every single word spoken can all be built upon. It is not simply enough to go through the motions. It is not enough to show up at practice and to be on the field, but every aspect of our game must be intentional. But what happens when the game is over? How do we continue forward? Some of us may be coaches and pass on our love of the game to the next generation. Or maybe we will become the next generation of over-involved soccer parents running down the sideline, jugulars protruding out of our necks from yelling, just trying to live vicariously through our children. I think taking away the skills and talents we have polished over the 4 years as an athlete here at EMU is important. But what I think largely is a bigger takeaway from my 4 years at EMU is the lessons that I have learned, the man I have become, and the glimpses I've been given into the man that I long to be. What I came into EMU thinking I was is not the same as I leave thinking I am. Throughout my years of playing volleyball, I have been one of, if not the shortest member of the team. Shocker. But realistically, this wasn't my biggest struggle at EMU. I am a leader. I like to be in charge, to have control, and to make things run smoothly. It took me 3 years to find this in the arena of volleyball. Sure, I was on the court, I was loud, and I led my defense, but how do you lead from the side? How do you lead a team to battle when you aren't on the front lines? It took an adversity of having a coach whose personality did not mesh well with mine, and for having the uncertainty of who would take over for me to find my place, for me to find meaning in the sport that I loved. It took a difficult cross-cultural and having an interim coach for me to realize one of the things that today I would say is one of my strongest giftings: articulation and speaking for those who may not be in a place to speak for themselves. As a teacher, it is obvious to me that each person has their own style, whether that be learning style or playing style. What it took me a while to connect between the sports world and the classroom was a role puzzle. In a classroom, each individual has a role they play. The most obvious and easy to pick out is the classroom clown. But this couldn't be more similar to a team, and each person has their role. If that person isn't there or fulfilling their role to the best of their abilities, the entire team suffers. It took me almost 3 years of blood, sweat, and tears to realize that my role was not the starting libero. Was I going to continue to push for it? Absolutely. But if I wasn't there, did that mean that I needed to quit? That I stopped trying? No. It meant that I needed to find what brought meaning back into my own game. I learned that for me, being the best teammate I can be does not equate to being a star on the court, but someone who pushes others to be better versions of themselves. It was my job to make sure that the team the starters played against every day at practice was actually good and was giving it their all, was forcing all 7 of the players that did play to get better. This push didn't only take the shape of play in practice, however. It meant conversation off the court, it meant helping teammates sort out their emotions, and it meant tutoring math so that players could stay eligible. It meant holding others accountable to fulfilling their duty and role on the team, both on and off the court. So as I have reflected on my 4 years, this is what I have gathered. Being the best version of yourself doesn't mean being the best. It means that you are pushing others around you to continually be better forms of themselves. And now, here we are, awaiting graduation, and I will be honest and say that not all of us will achieve our dreams. But what we can do is find our place in this world and be our best selves. So I challenge you, my fellow NARPs, to not focus on the struggles and disappointments, but focus on those things that shape you. And push. Push hard to be the best version of you. Because the best version of you might push someone else to do something great. The best version of you might accomplish the impossible. The best version of you is going to change the world. Thank you.
All right. It is my pleasure to stand here before you to introduce the Freshman of the Year Award, which is presented to the male and female freshman athlete who has had the most outstanding athletic performance in their first season of intercollegiate competition. I'm pleased to present the Female Newcomer of the Year Award to Rachel Souder, a member of the women's soccer team. In Rachel's first season, she was selected to the All-ODAC third team. She started in all 18 games where she scored 4 goals and had 6 assists for 14 points. She was number 1 on our team in assists and ranked 6th in the ODAC. She was number 1 on our team in points and number 2 on the team in goals. On behalf of EMU, I'm pleased to present this award as Female Newcomer of the Year.
And for the male freshman of the year, I'm pleased to present this award to Brett Lindsay, member of the baseball team. I must say this at first about Brett. He's helped to lead a youth movement in our program. My first recruiting class graduated last year, so I graduated 12 seniors a year ago. So I know in recruiting this year, talking with Coach Posey, we would be very young this year. And an important part of recruiting for our program was finding players and young men that fit EMU, fit our culture here, fit our baseball program culture, the school, and would be good fits. And Adam Posey recruited Brett Lindsay extremely hard and said this guy will be a good fit for our program. Not only can he play for us on the field from a skill set, but also from a fitting to EMU, the campus community would be a great fit here. So as Brett's come in, I remember him coming to our camp last year in the fall, and I got to meet Brett and got to watch him play and said this guy could help our program, got to talk with him and his mom, and felt that would be a great fit from day one. I tell our players all the time, in order to be successful here, you got to be bought in. You have to buy into what we're doing here at Eastern Mennonite. You have to be all in. And I'm very fortunate that Brett this year has been all in, as well as several of his teammates. Some statistics for Brett this year: 307 batting average. He's fourth on the team in hits. He's led the team in walks. He's also been first on the team in assists, playing third base and second base. But to me, even more impressive for him as a freshman is our ODAC conference stats, what he's done. He's second on the team with a 396 average. He's been second on the team in doubles, hits, on-base percentage, and he's tied for first with runs scored. And he's done this from a majority of our conference play in the cleanup spot, hitting number 4, which you got to you face a lot of tough arms, and they can pitch you certainly. This year for us, he started at NC Wesleyan in the 9-hole. And I said, he's on the bottom of the order here. I think it's a good spot to put him at. And his first collegiate at bat, I believe, was a 12-pitch at bat where he fouled off 12 pitches and did a great job. And he started to show me something there. So I'm excited to have him in our program for what he's done for us this year, for the future of our program, with several 16 freshmen. Over half of those guys have played a significant amount for us this year. So I'm excited what Brett's brought to the table, as well as several other members of his class. And I'm looking forward to the future. Congratulations, Brett.
The Athlete of the Year awards are given to the male and female athlete who has had the most outstanding athletic performance this year. This year, the winner of this award is Michaela Mast, member of the cross-country and track and field team. Michaela joined the cross-country team as a senior this fall. Her foray into collegiate running began a mere 9 months ago. She has had an incredible year, contending with seasoned runners as a rookie herself. Over this year, she has taken quickly to the sport, rising from competitive anonymity to being a strong ODAC and regional presence. This fall, Michaela was the number 2 runner at the ODAC Championships with a 6K time of 22:12. She was the cross-country ODAC Rookie of the Year and cross-country ODAC Rookie of the Meet, along with being a 2-time ODAC Runner of the Week. Regionally, Michaela was number 16 with a 6K of 22:16 and made the All-South Southeast region team. In indoor track, Michaela was number 3 in the ODAC 3K with a 10:41, number 11 in the ODAC with a 19:32 5K. In outdoor track, she was number 18 in the ODAC with a 2:29 800, number 21 in the ODAC with a 19:23 5K, and number 12 in the ODAC with a 4:59 1500 meter. As a coach, I have seen Michaela get the full experience of competitive running in one packed and very meaningful year. She has gone through many athletic stages this year, from early anonymity to mastering and winning meets against more experienced competition, and success at ODACs and regionals. She has also persevered and trained faithfully throughout injury this spring, navigating tough calls, comebacks, and demanding and gritty races. She has adapted from cross-country terrain to the track, from distance to mid-distance, and has been a strong and encouraging teammate in this year of transition. Michaela displayed an incredible drive this year. As soon as she found her footing and potential as a runner earlier this fall, she immediately started pushing those boundaries and striving to be faster and stronger every race. She was tenacious in taking the lead in races and learning the strategy of the track. As I reflect on the races she's run this year, everything from the 400-meter to the 6K, what strikes me is how she consistently strives to run her best race, both mentally and physically. Michaela, every time you came down the home stretch, on the track or on the course, there was never any doubt that you had run with everything you had. I speak for Coach Hannah Chapeldick as well when I say that it has been a pleasure for both of us to coach you and to watch you succeed this year. We're very proud of you.
I'm pleased to present the Male Athlete of the Year Award to Connor Faint, a four-year member of indoor and outdoor track and field. I actually wanted to see if he would hurdle some of the tables on the way up here, but he passed on that opportunity. An award like Male Athlete of the Year is based on athletic performance. So I will share some of the statistics that clearly show that Connor is deserving in multiple ways. In indoor track during the winter season, Connor was the ODAC champion and had the #1 time for the season in the ODAC for the 400-meter dash at 49.33 seconds on an unbanked track, which put him in the top 20 in Division III. He elected not to attend a last chance meet to qualify for indoor nationals so he could focus on his midterm exams in his nursing classes. When we moved to the outdoor season, Connor was able to run his specialty. You already heard the 400-meter hurdles. He's currently ranked #2 in the nation in Division III with a new EMU school record time of 51.89 seconds. He won the ODAC championship all 4 years in the 400-meter hurdles, and just this past week, he received Male Track Athlete of the Meet for breaking his own ODAC record, the meet record in the 400-meter hurdles, and also finishing 7th in the 200-meter dash. His junior year, he finished 8th in the nation in the 400-meter hurdles, and right now is aiming to challenge for a national title at the Division III National Championships in La Crosse, Wisconsin, May 24 through 26. But an award like this is dependent on more than just statistics. Connor has been a team member, a team leader, and has helped his team perform well, despite, as Brittany mentioned, having a new coach in track and field every year that he's been here. He maintained a positive relationship with those previous coaches, and it was particularly meaningful this year when we went to Montreat College in North Carolina, and he was able to run that second best time in the nation in front of former coaches Lukowitz and Coach Olinger. They were cheering him on just as much as they were cheering on their team from Montreat. That's the kind of quality that he brings when he comes on the track. In all the changes of coaching and teammates, he maintained an even keel and kept working on the primary thing, making sure that he worked hard and was prepared to do his best. That carried over into his other endeavors in his challenging nursing curriculum. This year, when most teammates were able to be at home working on homework, Connor was frequently working on clinical hours for nursing. Just this week, in order to be here tonight, He pulled a 12-hour shift in clinicals to make this banquet. It's his work ethic and willingness to get things done, like initiating putting up the Loyal Royals canopy tent that will be missed by all his teammates next year. It's also committed and talented student athletes like Connor who make me wish I were more than just a one-year interim coach. Connor, on behalf of EMU, I'm pleased to present you with this plaque as the Male Athlete of the Year.
Hi, I'm Jasmine. I was a member of the women's volleyball team. Okay. So it's always the dream when we're kids to grow up and play the sport that we grew up watching and fell in love with. It's our dream to be able to play in college or make it to the pros. I grew up watching JMU and UVA volleyball. I had my heart set on playing volleyball in college. Nonetheless, did I know that I would grow up to only be 5'4" and not be able to jump very high. Thank you, Mom. But I didn't let that stop me from still trying to be a collegiate athlete at the collegiate level. Jeff Tyson, the women's volleyball coach at the time, recruited me to come here. On my first visit, I absolutely fell in love with the school. I fell in love with the players, the staff, the education that was being offered, the community feel. There wasn't really anything I didn't like about this school. My mom had to actually force me to apply to other colleges because I truly didn't want to go anywhere else but here. Being a student athlete these 4 years has taught me so much about myself and so much about life. Through volleyball here at EMU, I have established so many relationships and so many friendships that I greatly value and will cherish for the rest of my life. I have grown to be a better athlete, a better leader, a better student, and an overall better person, thanks to the people I have surrounded myself with. Being part of a team not only teaches you about successes and teamwork, but also about failure and adversity. I have learned how to handle adversity through the losses we've experienced on the court. I have learned how to overcome obstacles and communicate with others to try to accomplish one goal. I have learned discipline, self-care, time management, and so many more traits and skills that I will continue to use as I continue on with my future. Volleyball has not only been a passion of mine, but has also molded me into a responsible and well-rounded individual. They say that college will be the best 4 years of your life. Who knew, as we sit here and think back to those times when we were watching sports as a kid, who knew that we would be out here living our dreams, playing the sport that we love in college, and that we'd be graduating in 10 days. I have been more than blessed to be able to pursue an education here at EMU and then to be able to play volleyball. EMU and athletics has given me so many amazing opportunities and milestones that I never thought I would be able to experience. Thanks to EMU, I will be graduating with a BS in psychology and then going on an amazing cross-cultural experience to Kenya for 3 weeks. I was able to be a part of SAC and learn different ways to help our athletic department by going to conferences like the Apple Training Institute in Charlottesville, Virginia, and also participating in a student-athlete engagement program at the NCAA Inclusion Forum in Indianapolis, Indiana. Lastly, I have accomplished an amazing milestone in my volleyball career. I will be leaving here in the #2 spot in the EMU Women's Volleyball Record Book with career assists. I never would have thought I would be here today, almost graduating college while being a collegiate athlete. EMU and athletics has helped shape me into the person I am today. The experiences I have had on and off the court have helped me get ready for an adventurous future, and I'm excited to see what the future has in store. Thank you.
All right. Hello. My speech
is nothing like anyone else's. It's more direct and right to the point, so I'm just going to go for it. First of all, I want to thank the two coaches back there, Coach Mel and Coach Kirby, because they took a chance on me and allowed me to come here and play here for 4 years, along with my parents who couldn't make it today, unfortunately, but they literally went to debt for us to be here and playing college basketball. So I really appreciate them for, sacrificing so we can live our dreams. And then, so just going through the 4 years that I've been here, my freshman year, I wanted to be also like the best player, the best basketball player to come to EMU. But there was a starting point guard who was also a senior. His name was James Williams. I'm sure all of y'all remember him. But I felt like I could have started over him, but I don't know. Coach saw it a different way. But anyway, so I didn't even play that much. I think I averaged like 7 minutes a game. But with that, it also taught me like everything is like you have to earn it. Nothing's going to be given to you in life. And then sophomore and junior year were kind of like the same thing for me because I had 2 ankle injuries that ended my season. And that kind of told me that life is going to throw like a whole bunch of obstacles in your way, and you just have to find a way to beat them and keep consistent with the process. And that's kind of what my sophomore and junior year taught me. And then my senior year was kind of looking back on all 3 of those years and just like understanding that at any point in time, like it could be taken away from you at any moment. So just like not taking anything for granted any second. That goes for playing sports or just in life in general, because it could be taken, any moment. And then, it also taught me a whole bunch of time management because we had games and practice and whatnot, stuff like that. And then on top of that, it taught me a lot of leadership skills. And that is pretty much all I have. So, thank you for everyone who, supported the basketball team and the coaches again. And Mike, I appreciate you, Mike. You kept me going, and you too, Whitney. But anyways, that's all I have. So y'all have a good night.
My name is James DeBoer. I'm the Sports Information Director here. Most people don't actually know me by face. They know me as the guy who sends out emails all the time. So that's usually how I introduce myself around campus, because I send out emails whenever there's a home game, so everybody knows me that way. But it's a pleasure to be up here. This is one of my favorite times of the year. I love beating Bridgewater and a walk-off home run. I love making runs in the ODAC tournament. But being able to come and hear the seniors talk about their 4 years, and really the senior reflections that we've heard is probably one of my favorite things of working at EMU, is just hearing these stories about how the kids have grown. With me today is Dave King, our Director of Athletics, and Mike Downey, our head trainer. We'll explain the directions again just to remind you guys. But folks, senior leadership is a really important thing, a big ingredient to a team's performance. Seniors bring stability, experience, and maturity, which helps the younger players adjust to college and to the athletics and carry the team through the highs and lows of a season. Seniors, we are happy to honor you guys tonight, and we thank you for your many contributions to the team and to the university. We trust that the value of the experiences you have had here, the lessons you've learned, and the relationships that you've built will last a lifetime. We are pleased to be able to give you a jacket and hope that you'll wear it with pride, as it will be a lasting memory of your time at EMU. So when I call your name, please head over to those guys over there. They'll hand you your certificate and your jacket, and then come on over here and line up. We'll just start on the floor, and we'll get you reorganized when we're done. But after you're there, come here. We'll get a big picture of you, and then we'll move on to the program after that. I'll read them all in alphabetical order. First up is Andrew Alderfer. Emily Augsburger. Kaylin Beckman. Rachel Bridigan. Micah Buller. Julian Bustles. Tim Callahan. Tristan Childress. Mary Deskins. Yeah, you come on down there. Connor Faint. Damon Frazier. Colton Fry. Isaiah Harris Wynn. Austin Hart. Kendall Hawkins is not able to be here tonight. Braden Herman. Sam Jacob. Jasmine Johnson. Skylar Johnson. Jerome Jones. Malik Jones. Janae Kaufman. Rashawn Latimer. Kat Lehman. She's on cross-cultural, not able to be here tonight. Jessica Longenecker. Juan Luna. Dan Lutz. Adam Marston. Michaela Martin. Sierra Martin. Grayson Mast. Michaela Mast. Bailey McInnes. David Nestor. Matthew Overacker. William Ragland. Brendan Saladay. Zach Souter. Sarah Schenk Marino, not able to be here tonight. Marcy Smucker. Rachel Sturm. Hannah Walker. She's on our cross-cultural, not able to be here. Mynisha Walker. Alexa Weeks. Tyler Wiltshire. Amanda Williams. Brittany Williams. And Jana Williams. Brianna Zook. And Michaela Zook. Ladies and gentlemen, please join with me in thanking these seniors for their hard work and many contributions to EMU. All right, now that we got you all up here, let me move a couple of people around. You know how I like the tall people in the back, please. And we'll sneak some of you to the front. Basically, if you can't see Ivan with the camera, he probably can't see you either.
Good. Yep. Well, greetings, EMU scholar athletes and parents. I am Susan Schultz-Huxman, president of Eastern Mennonite University, and I want to say on behalf of all of our senior administrators and faculty and staff at EMU that we are very, very proud of you. We are proud of you for your leadership, discipline, commitment, and the way you represent the values of Eastern Mennonite University on and off the court, the field, the track, or the course. As a scholar athlete myself, many, many moons ago, I can vouch for the leadership training that juggling varsity athletics and rigorous academics and service to campus and community instills. And current research continues to make the case that employers from across the sector, profit and nonprofit, large and small, look to hire good students who are also athletes in college because they know that you have learned precious skills for winning and losing, the value of hard work and setting goals, and the importance of playing on a team, all lessons that translate directly to the real world. So congratulations again. And now for the President's Award. The President's Award is given to the senior athlete who best exemplifies the values of EMU athletics during their entire career. The athletic department selects the male and female athlete for this award based on 6 tough criteria. Here they are: academic achievement, athletic contribution, Christian commitment, leadership, campus involvement, and service. Yes, we expect these folks to almost walk on water. So we will begin with the women. There were 5 women finalists this year for the President's Award. And again, given the high stature and the 6 criteria and the difficulty it is even to be nominated, I would like all 5 finalists to stand when I call your name. Emily Augsburger, Kat Lehman, Manisha Walker, Alexa Weeks, and Brittany Williams. Let's give them a hand. And this year's recipient is Emily Augsburger. Please come on up. Emily is from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, the daughter of Scott and Kristen Augsburger, and a graduate of Lancaster Mennonite High School. Next week, she will receive her degree in nursing with a 3.62 GPA. She will be working at Centera RMH in Harrisonburg in a cardiac and renal unit. Emily has been a 4-year starter for the field hockey team, playing in 68 games in her career as a defender and midfielder. She scored 17 goals and had 12 assists. She was named to the ODAC first team 3 times, the ODAC All-Academic Team 3 times, and to the Field Hockey Coaches Association National Academic Squad 4 times. Twice she was named to the Virginia All-State Team, and this past year was selected to play in the Field Hockey Coaches Association Division III Senior Game. And off the field, Emily has served as co-president of the senior class, volunteered with the Boys and Girls Club of Harrisonburg, and has been active in the nursing clubs and activities. Coach Ashley Kidsner shares the following reflections. Oggs, her nickname, Oggs was an anchor and a leader for this program. She held the team together through the many coaching changes. Her dedication to the team and her passion for the sport is immeasurable. Her determination and drive to succeed are very apparent on the hockey field. She has stepped up and played midfield, defense, and attack, depending upon where she was needed each year. She will be missed by her coaches and teammates and leaves an impossible role to fill both on and off the field. Oggs is the true epitome of a team player. It has been a pleasure to coach her in her final season as a Royal. And thinking back over her years at EMU, Emily says this: "My experience at EMU has been one full of growth and unanticipated change. I did not plan on playing collegiate field hockey, but I am extremely grateful that I did. Having 3 coaches in 4 years has taught me to be resilient and forced me to become a leader and a constant for our team as we entered each new season. I have learned that change, though not always welcome, has the potential to be so positive and necessary. Emily, it is a real privilege to present to you with the 2017-2018 President's Award.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a serious honor to play the past 4 years, and like I didn't plan on playing. I decided like April of senior year, and I'm really happy that I did, and it's been something that has played a huge part of my college career, and I will definitely miss it. So thank you.
And now we turn to the men. This year, there were 4 men named as finalists. And again, I'd like you to please stand when your name is called, because again, this is a real achievement to be nominated in all 6 of these categories. The 4 men are Colton Fry, Malik Jones, Dan Lutz, and David Nestor. And this year's recipient is Dan Lutz. Great, Dan. Dan is from Greencastle, Pennsylvania, the son of David and Beth Lutz, and was homeschooled. He is a member of the honors program, and next week, will graduate with a degree in biochemistry and a minor in Spanish, and carries a 3.72 GPA. Before attending graduate school, Dan will take a gap year and will either be a language assistant in Spain or work at a local pharmacy here in Harrisonburg. Dan is a 4-year member of the men's volleyball team. Not having played for a high school volleyball team, Dan hit the collegiate court successfully, being named the EMU Freshman Athlete of the Year. He has played in 102 matches as a middle hitter. He is currently number 3 in EMU history with 379 career blocks and finished with 604 career kills and a .338 kill percentage. Dan was named to the Continental Volleyball Conference All-Tournament team in both his junior and senior year, and this year was named to the All-Conference second team. In addition, he is a 3-year member of the All-Conference academic team. Off the court, Dan is co-president of the Student Athletic Advisory Committee and Executive Royal Ambassador. He is member of the Pre-Professional Health Society and a regular on the student panels at open houses. First-year coach Daniel Lickey has these comments about Dan. He is the embodiment of what you would expect a President's Award recipient to be. His work ethic and commitment to excellence, both on and off the court, are evident in the quality of his accomplishments. Dan has been a leader, role model, and a friend to all his teammates. He welcomed me with an open mind when I was hired as the 3rd coach of his career, and he immediately demonstrated class and coachability by accepting instruction with focus and determination. I have no doubt that Dan will continue to rise to his potential, not only challenging his own growth, but also helping bring out the best of those around him. And in reflecting on his own EMU experience, Dan says this: I was never part of a high school team, so coming here and immediately being welcomed by both the team and the athletic department was amazing and helpful as I transitioned to this next part of my life. I have gained leadership skills, patience, integrity, and the ability to work with anyone, especially after having to be on a team with the personalities I had to play with. Really? However, what I gained most was a family and a mindset to push myself to be the best that I can be. Dan, it is my very strong and high privilege to present to you the 2017-2018 President's Award.
So I would have more to say, but I use all my time writing Colton's speech. So, so you're welcome. You're welcome. But no, seriously, it's a huge honor, guys. I really feel like I've gained a family with the whole athletic department, the staff, coaching, and all the players, even across the volleyball team and through into all of the other sports. So I really appreciate it, guys.
Was noted this evening that this is probably, we weren't able to find for sure, but we're pretty confident that this is the largest senior class that we have sent out and graduated. And when I think about that, I begin to recognize that one of the reasons, in my opinion, that you have all stayed and played 4 years is the coaches and the staff that have guided you along that way. So I would ask at this time if all coaches and athletic staff would stand, and if you would recognize them for their contributions to your sons' lives. Jim, maybe we'll find a way to hear stories from all seniors at some point along the way, because it really would be. I want to thank you for attending this evening, for supporting student athletes. I have been down this road before with my own children when their college careers came to an end, and it is a very interesting, unique experience when they put that uniform on for the last time. It suddenly began to show me in my own personal experience that it finally dawned on me that this really was about who they were becoming as a person and not about the jersey that they had on. And yes, Colton, I guarantee you will be those parents, so trust me, you will be that way. Following our dismissal, we would like to have some photo opportunities for the Freshman of the Year, the Athlete of the Year, and the President's Award. And families, if you're here and want to come with them, you can. The President's Award with Dr. Huxman as well, so we'll do that. Please join me in a closing prayer. God of mercy and grace, we are grateful for all of the experiences that you have provided for us. We are grateful for the safety of the many, many, many miles that we have traveled as teams. We think back over the years of having started playing our sport perhaps at age 5 or 6 or 7. And think about all of the time that was spent. And there are many who would say, was it worth it? We've heard this evening that it was well worth it. We've heard stories of changes in their priorities, of shifts in their focus. But what we have always come away with is having become better persons for having gone through the experience of competitive sports. I thank you especially for the leadership, the friendship, and the guidance and the mentorship that is shown by our coaches and by the staff. Being there for them, making them more than just athletes. We pray a special blessing upon those as they end their career and as they move beyond EMU. We ask that you go with them and that you continue to bring them back to their experiences here at EMU and how that has shaped them, and it will speak into the experiences that they have in the next phase of life. We celebrate all that we have achieved, all that we have experienced, And we thank you for it, because it is in your goodness and grace that you have given us this opportunity to use sports to shape lives. Give those who have traveled here safe travel on the way home. May all of us continue to live into who you want us to be, using the experiences of everyday life to impact that. Amen.